The person everyone remembers from the room is the one who barely spoke, didn't smile too easily, didn't explain themselves, didn't ask for permission to exist. You felt them before you saw them, and you couldn't explain why. That wasn't charm, luck, or genetics. That was aura, the dangerous kind. The kind that makes people hesitate before they speak to you, choose their words carefully, and earn respect before a single syllable is spoken. Here is the brutal truth. You don't have it. Not yet. Right now, you walk into rooms and disappear. You speak, and people talk over you. You give everything, your time, your energy, your loyalty, and still you are the one being overlooked, dismissed, forgotten. You've been playing by the wrong rules, trying to be liked instead of being felt, trying to be agreeable instead of being undeniable. There is a psychological architecture to presence that Machiavelli understood 5 centuries ago. A blueprint for building the kind of aura that doesn't beg for attention, but commands it. The kind that makes manipulation slide off you like water. The kind that turns silence into sovereignty. This isn't theory or motivation. It is a weapon. And once you see how aura is constructed, you'll never unsee it. You'll start noticing who has it, who fakes it, and how easily the masses surrender to those who've mastered it. Let's begin with what aura actually is, because most people get this wrong. Aura is not confidence. Confidence can be faked. Aura cannot. Aura is not aggression. Aggression is loud. Aura is silent. Aura is the space between what people see and what they don't understand. It is the gap between your surface and your depths, and that gap, when constructed correctly, becomes magnetic, unsettling, dangerous. Machiavelli wrote that men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, because everyone can see, but few can touch. People don't respond to who you are. They respond to what they perceive you to be. And perception is not about truth. It is about theater. Strategic theater. The dangerous aura is built on a paradox. You must appear calm, yet feel unpredictable. You must seem controlled, yet suggest something uncontrollable beneath the surface. You must be present, yet somehow unreachable. This isn't contradiction. It is tension, and tension is what holds attention. Think about the people who've made you nervous. Not violent people, not loud people. The quiet ones. The ones who smiled but it didn't reach their eyes. The ones who listened more than they spoke, and made you feel like they knew something you didn't. And it is engineered, not inherited. The first principle is to become unreadable. The moment someone can predict you, they stop respecting you. Uncertainty creates value. Certainty creates contempt. When people know exactly what you'll say, how you'll react, what you'll tolerate, they stop seeing you as a threat and start seeing you as furniture. Machiavelli understood this intimately. He didn't advise his prince to be merciful, faithful, and humane, but to seem those things. Because the moment you reveal everything, you become controllable. Predictable minds are puppet minds, and puppets don't build dangerous auras. So stop explaining yourself. Every explanation is a confession that you need their understanding, that their opinion has power over you. The dangerous don't explain. They act and let interpretation fill the silence. Stop reacting immediately. Pause. Let the silence stretch. Let them squirm, because the one who controls the pace controls the frame. Stop sharing your plans. Your next move should be invisible until it has already happened. Mystery is not the absence of information. It is the presence of implication. The dangerous aura requires psychological restraint, not coldness. You feel everything. You just don't broadcast everything. And that gap between what you experience and what you reveal is where your power lives. The second principle is to own your physical presence. Your body speaks before your mouth opens. Within milliseconds of seeing you, people's brains have already categorized you as threat or non-threat, leader or follower, someone to respect or someone to dismiss. Slow everything down. Your walk, your gestures, your speech. Because speed signals anxiety. The powerful move like time bends around them. Take up space deliberately. Plant your feet wider. Keep your hands visible and still, and stop the self-soothing gestures, touching your face, crossing your arms, fidgeting. Because these signal internal chaos. Hold eye contact longer than feels comfortable. Eye contact is a dominance negotiation. When you look away first, you've submitted. When you hold just a beat too long, you've established something primal and wordless. Breathe deeper. When you slow your breath, you slow your nervous system, and people sense that calm the same way they sense fear. It radiates. The third principle is strategic unpredictability. Consistency is the enemy of dangerous aura. Being reliably kind makes you easy to exploit. Being reliably angry makes you easy to manipulate. Being reliably anything makes you a known quantity. And known quantities are never feared. The dangerous ones. You never quite know what they'll do. This doesn't mean chaos, which is merely weakness with volume. It means calculated inconsistency, warm sometimes and cold others. Generous one moment and withholding the next, not randomly but strategically. The moment you become consistent for someone else's comfort, you've given them the blueprint to your psyche. Keep the keys. Be kind when it is unexpected. Be silent when they expect engagement. Be absent when they assume your presence. Let them wonder, theorize, and talk about you when you are not in the room. Because that is where aura actually lives. Not in the room with you, but in the conversations about you when you are gone. The fourth principle is emotional sovereignty. The person who controls their emotions controls the room. The person who loses their emotions loses everything. Every time someone triggers you, they've proven they have access to your internal state. Every time you react emotionally to insult, rejection, or disrespect, you've advertised your vulnerabilities. And in the game of power, advertised vulnerabilities become exploited vulnerabilities. Emotional sovereignty is not suppression. Suppression is pretending you don't feel, and it cracks under pressure. Sovereignty is feeling fully while choosing your response. It is watching your anger rise and deciding it doesn't serve you to express it. The dangerous mind operates on a delay. Input happens. Emotion arises. But between the emotion and the response is a gap. And in that gap lives your freedom. When someone insults you, don't react. Watch them. Let silence do the violence. Most people can't handle the absence of your reaction and will escalate, explain, and fill the void, proving that your non-reactivity disturbed them more than any comeback ever could. The fifth principle is controlled mystery. Every word you speak is an investment, and most people are terrible investors. They talk about their problems, insecurities, fears, and ambitions to anyone who will listen, treating conversation like therapy and draining all mystery from their presence. The dangerous aura requires information asymmetry. You should know more about them than they know about you. Listen more than you speak. When you do speak, make it count. Reveal only what serves your position, and let them fill in the gaps with their imagination. Because what they imagine is always more powerful than what you could tell them. You share your victories sparingly, hide your struggles completely, speak about others rarely, and yourself even more rarely. Because the less you say about yourself, the larger you become in their imagination. The mysterious are never forgotten. The mind cannot release what it hasn't fully understood. So you become a loop that never closes. A thought that keeps returning. A presence that lingers even in absence. The sixth principle is commanding through stillness. Movement is noise. Stillness is authority. Watch any truly powerful figure. They don't fidget, don't rush, and move as though every gesture costs something valuable. When you are still, you force others to move around you. You become the center of gravity, and the room orients to you. In nature, the predator waits while the prey moves nervously. And when you are still, You signal predator energy. When someone speaks to you, let them finish without leaning in eagerly or nodding excessively. Receive their words like a wall receives rain, present but unmoved. When you respond, pause first. Let your silence make your words heavier. They'll adjust to your pace. They always do. The seventh principle, the one most people miss entirely, is making your absence felt. Presence is only powerful when contrasted with absence. If you are always available, always reachable, you become common. And nothing common is ever dangerous. The dangerous cultivate strategic absence. They disappear, become unreachable, withdraw without explanation, and return without apology. And in that absence, their value compounds. Every time you respond immediately, you signal that nothing in your life matters more than their message. Every time you are present at every gathering, you signal that your presence costs nothing. This is not game playing. It is value preservation. Your time and energy are scarce resources. Treat them as such, and others will begin to do the same. Here is what Machiavelli knew that most will never understand. The dangerous aura is not about being dangerous. It is about being so deeply self-possessed that others cannot locate your breaking point. They search for it, test for it, and find nothing. That is what makes you dangerous. Not violence, not cruelty, not aggression. The sense that you are a closed circuit, generating your own power, needing nothing from them that they have the ability to withhold. Most people walk around with their wiring exposed. Anyone can reach in and flip their switches, access their shame, their fear, their need for approval. And once accessed, those people are controlled. The dangerous have sealed themselves not from emotion or connection, but from dependency. They've built internal sovereignty so complete that external circumstances become weather rather than foundation. You can build this. It will cost you convenience, the comfort of being fully known, and some relationships that only existed because you were easy to access. But what you'll gain is something most people never experience: the feeling of walking into any room, any situation, any chaos, and knowing that nothing there has power over your internal state, that no one present can shake what you've built, that your silence is louder than their noise. That is the dangerous aura. And now you know how to build it.